The time has finally come. It is time for our kids to start school. I think that we are about the last county in our state to start. I'm not sure why they got such a late start this year, but it was good. We got to soak up those last few moments of summer before they had to go back. And if you don't know, it's a little bit bigger deal for us this year because our entire lives are changing. Our kids have been homeschooled. Well, Raylan has been homeschooled her entire life. And Wyatt has pretty much been homeschooled his entire life as well. He did go to kindergarten public school for a very short amount of time, about 6 months, 5 or 6 months back when he was very young, so a long time ago. And we have just been a homeschooling family. We have loved that. We have enjoyed the freedom so much. The kids have absolutely thrived doing their school at home. I've been their teacher, their father. Zach, their dad, has helped as well. I always joked that he was the principal and I was the teacher. We had a really fun time with it. But our kids have gotten to the age where they want to go out and experience it. They see what it's like, on TV. They hear from their friends that go to public school, and they just really, really desperately wanted to try it. And I've always been in the stance that we would ask them every year, besides the younger years. The younger years, I did want to have control over that situation. I know that sounds bad, but ultimately that is pretty much why you homeschool. You want to control the situation. You want to control their environment. You want to control their safety, what they're exposed to, all that stuff. So I did want to have that control over it when they were really young, just because they're too young. And if they can't speak out for themselves, then I'm not there, and I couldn't either. So now that we were at the age where they obviously are capable of handling themselves, taking care of themselves, and, seeing something or saying something when something is wrong or something is off, that I wanted to give them that choice. And we've actually talked about it for a couple years. We were going to last year, and then at the last minute they said, no, let's just chill, let's wait. And then when this spring basically came around, I brought it up again, and they both seemed very sure that they wanted to just go and try public school, get the experience, see what it was like. So we committed to it. I told them, once we commit, we're in. It's happening. And so we did, and we got ready for it. We pretty much spent our whole summer prepping for it, just as far as, telling them these are the rules, this is what it's like, because it's completely different than anything they've ever known. They have just had so much freedom. We've been able to go and travel and do things when other people are in school, and that's just been incredibly nice. But everything changes. You know what they say, the only thing that stays the same is that everything changes. So this too must change too, and now we are finally here doing that. We have prepared a lot. We made sure to start pushing their bedtimes back and start pushing their get-up times earlier, just so that they would have kind of an idea of what it would be like. And then we did a trial run that I talked about a little bit, and just getting them on that school schedule, basically even going as far as to drive to the schools and say, this is when we need to leave the house, this is what you need to remember to bring, all that stuff. So we did that. We have really prepared as much as we possibly could. So now that the time is here, it is really just time to get our meals prepped for the week, get our meal plan down, decide what their lunches are going to be, what their breakfasts are going to be, their dinners. We're still going to carve out that every night family dinner time together. So getting a meal plan together for that was important for me. And they're not going to be at home all through the day, so I need to make sure that they're getting a specific nutrition throughout each meal. I don't know I know they'll be taking their lunch, but, they could always decide to eat at school, and I don't know what that's going to be. I do know breakfast and dinner will be nutritious, so that's why I'm keeping it there as I'm icing a cake. But it's a good cake. And this was a treat. I wanted them to have pick me up after dinner. We had a nice family dinner together Sunday night we had spaghetti and salad and some breadsticks for them. And then I wanted to have this cake just as a nice little pick-me-up. It was a homemade vanilla bundt cake from scratch, and it was really, really good. And I just made some homemade icing there too. But it was a nice treat for them to have after they ate their dinner, and then say, okay, this is it. Congratulations. We're so excited. And tomorrow morning is school. So they love that. It was a nice little treat for them. And I plan to do that a lot. Just make some homemade from scratch, nutritious treats to have when they get home from school, so that they can just eat something, a little small snack real quick, and then have a little bit until dinner, until we eat together all again. And then they can have a snack or two after dinner before bed, and just make sure that they're, staying nutritious and not going to bed empty or hungry or any of that. I think my biggest fears is safety, whether they are hungry, happy, healthy, and I just want everyone to be kind to them. As their mother, I think that's just the things that I fear. I've been able to control those things for so many years, and now it'll be different. We had a little wine with our meal, and everyone that we pulled out was just tragically sweet. So we didn't want too much of that, but we had a good time trying it. We are 2 days into their new school at this point, their new schools, and it has been hectic and chaotic, but fun. They have had some learning curves. As much as I could tell them and prepare them, I didn't know everything. So they're kind of learning that and going along with it and figuring out the rules. And it's been very eye-opening for them, I would say. Raylan is having a blast. She's making friends, having so much fun. And Wyatt is having a good time too. It's different. So he's just learning to navigate that and figure out what the rules are, where he's supposed to be when he's in a brand new building that he's never been in before and doesn't know where anything is. They wouldn't let us figure any of that out. So we just basically told him, when you get there, ask adults and ask the kids, and you got this. You've got the confidence, you've got the knowledge, you've got the skills, and we know you'll figure it out. And so far he has. It's been a little stressful for him, a little chaotic, but he has figured it out, and we are on our new routine. We are enjoying it. It's definitely different. Like I said, it's a whole new lifestyle and a new routine that we're not used to, but I think in a month it'll just be normal, and this will be totally normal for us, and we'll know what to do. It's just right now we're still figuring things out, right? We're still early in. The mornings are good though. The mornings are pretty smooth. I do have a routine down for that. Just making sure everybody's ready. They've got their breakfast. They have their lunches packed. We grab water bottles on the way out, and we just basically laugh and giggle and talk them up until they get to school, just making sure that they have that foundation in the morning to have a good day. No matter what happens at school, at least their interaction with us was positive and happy and loving and kind. And that's just my goal every morning. Just like that, the kids are at their first day of school. We are super excited for them, nervous, sad, happy, all the emotions. It's so different for our family. I've been talking about this for a few weeks. Thank you for being patient with me for not having up as many videos, but that last week was crunch week, and we had a lot of work to do. A lot of organizing and tidying up and just preparing them and getting them ready. So they both went off this morning. They both had great attitudes. They were very excited, a little nervous as to be expected. Mom and Dad are a lot nervous for them, mainly just hoping that everyone is kind to them. We feel like we have prepared them as much as we possibly could. I think they're more than prepared for the education part of it. I think they're above and beyond on that part. They're so smart. They're so incredibly resilient, and just they show up and they put their all into it. My only worry is that I hope people are kind. I hope kids are kind to them. I hope teachers are kind to them. I hope they're shown patience and grace when they don't know where things are. They've never been in these schools. I hope that the adults and the kids themselves are just willing to help out and just lend a helping hand to them. So We had a great morning. We went off to the gym and we had a little Starbucks date. That was nice. And then we came back and we packaged up your orders. So thank you so much for all of those. They're all on their way to you. And we actually have to work on some plumbing. So that's no fun. We got to get that issue out of the way. And then I'm going to prepare for the evening for them, get dinner going, get their snacks ready for after school, cozy up their rooms for them so they have a nice spot to come home to. And then we'll have dinner as a family and talk about it, and I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully it was a great day, and hopefully it's all smiles and happy faces when they get home. But I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me on this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.